Alright guys, welcome to the video. Today we're having a little issue with the Drift 300. We did a little street drifting last night. I got a couple clips I can show you that I'll put in right now. Before we were done there, the brakes on the 300 drift car stopped working. So yeah, I mean, pedal all the way to the floor, it does nothing. So we're gonna go ahead and bring the 300 up here and put some new fluid in it and see if we can figure out where it's leaking from. Hopefully it's something easy and we can replace it. If not, we'll have to move the 240 so that we can put it on the flat ground and jack it up. So let's go ahead and get to it. Alright, so as you can see, hopefully, it's bone dry. I mean bone dry. There isn't there's barely any fluid in there at all, and it's all on the one side. So clearly it's leaking from somewhere. We couldn't figure out where it was leaking from last night. There was no puddles, so I'm assuming that whatever line is leaking is probably bone dry now. I'm guessing it's one of the fronts. I'm hoping it's the rubber line to the caliper, but let's go ahead and put some new fluid in it, pump the brakes, see if we can get a leak from somewhere. Alright guys, so I found out which wheel is our culprit. It's the front passenger side wheel. I can see brake fluid dripping down on the back side of the rim. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it looks like there's brake fluid back there. So again, I'm hoping the rubber line is broke. If that's the case, we'll probably just get 4 new ones. This is actually a really good excuse to go ahead and bleed all the brakes anyway. So I'm gonna do some more investigation. I'll get back to you. All right guys, so I got the brake line out of the front passenger side of the 300CX, and I forgot what a monstrosity these brake lines are. It starts up here, connects. I mean, this is a good 14 inches of rubber line at least. And then it hits this tiny little metal thing, which is actually, I believe, where the connection was. I really honestly believe that this connector was actually just loose, or this fitting here was actually just loose, which is the one that screwed into the caliper. But I mean, it was literally pissing brake fluid when I just checked it right there, because you could see it dribbling down the wheel, and I had moved the car, so all of that had to have been just from right now. But anyway, I think that I probably could have just bent this with a new piece of line and our new flaring tool, but I went ahead and used this as the opportunity to, first of all, get rid of all of these extra connection points, and I ordered some StopTech braided steel lines. The StopTech lines are the same ones I used on the 240, and I was very happy with them. They seemed very quality built. They were nice products. So the new lines actually just come with this connection and a holding point at the caliper or before the caliper, and then they actually screw right into the caliper. So it's literally going to get rid of a lot of this mess. The line is still pretty long because it has to be pretty long to work with the brakes, but we're gonna lose some connection points, and we're gonna get these steel braided lines. So that should help with our pedal response and everything like that. They'll be here in about a week, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the tire back on so that just to feel a little safer about having the car sitting here. And when they come in the week, we'll finish this video and get them put on. Oh, I also got them for all 4 corners. So we're gonna go ahead and put these steel braided lines on all 4 corners, and then we're going to bleed the system and put all new fluid in it, and go from there. So I'll see you guys in about a week or so. So it's about, I don't know, 4 or 5 days later, and we got our Stop Tech brake lines for the 300ZX. So we're gonna go ahead and put those on. They're not exactly what I was hoping. I was hoping that the brake lines were going to get rid of the 6-inch piece of hard line, but they don't. They're basically exactly as the stock. So you got the front ones, which are long, and they have these clips, which are cool because they slide. And then it has 2 of these ends, so we have to reuse the small metal line, which we're not going to reuse. We're going to flare new ones. But and then we got the back ones here. So we're going to go ahead and put those on. We have some associated hardware up here. I have some more in the shed. For anybody that cares, these are the part numbers. I believe these, no, I think these were like this. So I believe that's the front part number, and that's the back part number. I love these lines. They're pretty high quality, braided, but then it's got like a nice plastic coating over top so that they're not rough. And the ends spin freely. I used them on the 240 and they seem to work out perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so the front brake line is done. I started using pieces kind of a guide, but I found the old piece and I didn't really like the way it was bent. So I bent a new one. I think it's going to be all good, but we're going to go ahead and double check. But hopefully you can see that. I'll probably grab my light and show you again, but there's our new copper line. There's our nice braided line. Let's go ahead and turn the steering wheel all the way both directions and see what it does. All right, I think we're good to go, so I'm going to go ahead and bang out these other 3. I only did the front because the back, I went to take one off and the nut on the hard line stripped out. It is the hard line that runs from the body to the rubber line. So in order to fix it, I'm probably going to have to redo the line from the splitter in the back to that side, which is really complicated with the subframe one. So the backs weren't leaking. We're just gonna leave them the way they are. All right, guys, so all we have left now to do is bleed the brake system. I also went ahead and flushed my clutch, so we're gonna go ahead and bleed all that too. But here's the fluid that came out of all that. And just mind you, that's some new fluid in there too, so it's a lot dirtier than that. But we're gonna go ahead and bleed the brakes and bleed the clutch, and hopefully we're good to go. All right, guys, so the 300ZX is done. We bled all the brakes. We bled the clutch. The clutch is definitely working better. I adjusted the route on the back of the pedal. Everything worked out great. We bled the brakes. We did the driver's side rear, passenger side rear, driver's side front, passenger side front, and then we did the 2 in the actuators. I did that round about 3 times. The third time I got very little bubbles out. Everything's working great. Pedal stiff. Everything works perfect. So I think we're good to go on the 300. And we'll be back out at the drift track here next weekend. If you like the channel, like, share, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. We're going to start tearing into the 240.